Have you guys ever wanted to make bread at home but thought it was just going to be too much effort, or it's too difficult, or you've got to be Paul Hollywood? But it actually doesn't have to be that difficult. Here I've got some homemade focaccia, which is actually one of the simplest things you can make. It only requires about 3 to 4 ingredients. You can top it with whatever you like, and it only takes about an hour to make. So let's get started. Let's make some focaccia. Start by adding 2 cups of plain flour to the bowl. Just probably just a tip there. Just straight in there. That's about right. So if you want to be more precise, that's about 310 grams of plain flour. Now what you want to do is you want to get some salt, put it in the bowl. But first of all, we'll do the yeast. So we get yourself a little packet of yeast and a knife. There it is. And you want this to be lukewarm, so like a bath water. Tip the yeast in. Then I've got a few sachets of sugar here. I'm going to add about 5. Spoon, give it a quick stir so it just comes together. And just set it aside for a minute. What you want to do now, get yourself a chopping board and a knife. And I've got some olive oil in the bowl. That's about half a cup of olive oil. And what I'll do with it is get some pesto, and you can literally just top this with anything you like. I like to use pesto, olives and some garlic, but you could put rosemary, you could put chili flakes, you could put anything, whatever you like. You could top this bread with basically anything. So you're free to experiment. I'm just going to mix some pesto in with the olive oil and roughly chop some olives. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's what they call rustic. Just add it into there. Now we've got some garlic. I like to use quite a bit of garlic, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Just maybe 3 cloves of garlic will do. So it's easy to peel, and then chop the little end bit off, and it should come off quite easily. There we go. This is a very good recipe because it's so versatile. You can use this bread with your soups, you can make sandwiches out of it, and it keeps fresh for a few days. If you just wrap it well with cling film, put it in the fridge, you'll have it will still be fresh the next day or the next day. And you could just stick it in the toaster, or you can freeze it if you like. Okay, just stick that in there. Give that a quick stir, and that's going to be what you're going to be putting in your flour mix, and you're going to be pouring some of that on top of the focaccia once it's in the tin. So we've got the flour and we've got the yeast. If you leave it for a moment for it to bubble up, that means the yeast is active. So I'm just going to make a little well in the center and pour the mix in. Now if it feels a little bit too wet, you can add a little extra flour, or if it's too dry, add a little bit more water. It shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to drain some of this off and pour it in there as well. You can always add a little extra on top if you're feeling like your olive oil mix is a bit dry. Just mix it until it feels fairly combined, so there's no dry bits of flour left in the bowl. Okay. What I'll do is now I'll sprinkle a little more flour onto the work surface and some of my hand, so my hands don't get sticky. And tip that on there. And what you want to do is just give it a very gentle knead. It really doesn't need to be kneaded for very long. I only need about 10 to 15 turns just to get it sort of combined and smooth. See, that's already coming together really nicely. Just get all that flour up there. And that can go back in the bowl. What you're going to do is you're going to put some cling film on it and let it rest for 1 hour. And I'll see you in an hour. So this is your dough after 1 hour. You can see that's kind of, it's got these little holes in it. So the yeast has done its job, and it's very fluffy but very sticky. So make sure you flour your hands before you do this. Or put some, you can wet your hands as well if you want. I've got a tray here that I've already lined with some paper. Now what you want to do is, I'm just going to put some flour on my hands, and you're just going to spread the dough evenly all onto so it fills the space. It smells wonderful. I can smell the garlic and rosemary and pesto. Give that a quick mix. And all that olive oil and the pesto is the bread's gonna soak it all up, and it's gonna absorb into the dough. If you like, you can put some other things on it, like cheese, or you can put some prosciutto on it. It can make it quite interesting. But we're just going to keep it simple today and add these. That is going to go in the oven now for about 25 to 30 minutes on 190 degrees Celsius. So we'll see you then. Go on, just put it in. That's what he said. I'm supposed to be, this is meant to be sexy kitchen, right? So there you go. Well, here we have it, guys. This is a homemade focaccia, and I've got to tell you, the smell is incredible. Let's just give it a cut. So as I said before, you can just have it on its own, or you can put a little bit of olive oil and vinegar on it. I'm just going to cut it into 4. All the olive oil and the pesto is soaked into the sponge. We'll all the garlic is nicely roasted on top. There we go. And there we have it. Nice bit of homemade focaccia. Okay, so there you have it, guys. If you'd like to see any more recipes like this, please subscribe to my channel. I'll post videos every week. And I hope you have a great night.